It's Tuesday, which means we're back here live in the Chat Sports Studio. Chiefs Report. Man, it's a good day to see y'all. Get in the chat. I want to see who's watching with us and shout out your city while you're at it, because I already know Tony Fuentes is here. I know he's hanging out with us. So who else is in the chat hanging out? Shout out your city. Where you watching from? We got William Norman from Piedmont, Missouri. Tony Fuentes from El Paso. DJ from Waynesboro, Pennsylvania. I love it. I love it. Where y'all watching from? Everybody who puts in the chat, you get a shout out. It's that simple. Pretty good. Which tractor first saying me? Linda Damon from Eastham, Massachusetts. Tony Fuentes, what's up, man? I'm doing good. I'm doing good. Cody Austin saying Valley Center, Kansas. And then Richard Martin from Okini, Kansas. Lucas from Denmark. I love it. I love it. Well, I'm glad you're all hanging out with us because, listen, it's a good day to have a good day, and I'm just hoping all of y'all are excited for a good show ahead. Robert Banta from from Arkansas City, Kansas. We got Woods Tractor Fist from Ohio. Joe Rogers from Marshfield, Missouri. I like that. And then Fat Boy Slim saying Kansas City, Missouri. Liz Steele from Coweta, Oklahoma. Tony Fuentes saying it's good to see you. It's good to see you, man, too. It's good to see you. Todd Tusher. Cole Silly, Illinois. Hopefully I'm saying that right. Greg from Johnson, Canada. Appreciate it, man. Appreciate it. James Williams from Independence, Missouri. And Sam Fargo from New Jersey. Hey, Sam. I actually know another Sam. And you may be as cool as him, but it's kind of hard to live up to. It's producer Sam. Let's go.
The bar is high. The bar is high there. Good to be back. Another Tuesday live show here. It's fully off-season time. We were talking about it earlier. Like, the world is our oyster now. Now we've talked about everything in the past. The Chiefs winning all these games, winning another Super Bowl, and now we get to talk about who they get to add or potentially bring back as they go into another championship run.
We get to talk about everybody who will win a ring next year when they get out of the Chiefs, because we're going to win again. Everybody who gets to win another one when they get re-signed.
What was it that Andy Reid said? See red and think championships?
See red and think Super Bowl.
See red and think Super Bowl. I think just send that in like a small envelope to every free agent in the NFL. And just see who answers. You'll get a good pool.
I'm going to give people a little preview, actually. This came out a little late, so we're not going to have it on this show. There was an NFL analyst that predicted the Kansas City Chiefs would sign another Charger. Can you guess who it is?
Mike Williams.
You're not going to guess it. It's Austin Eckler.
Oh, really?
So that's tomorrow. So a little preview for our live show, people. We're going to be talking about Austin Eckler on tomorrow's show. So
it's the off-season.
We get everybody.
It's the chaos that we always love to embrace every year.
Well, there's somebody that we do want to keep in Kansas City, and there was an interesting question put out on social media and throughout NFL Network and a bunch of media outlets. And I want to ask you this. Can the Chiefs three-peat without Chris Jones, or is Chris Jones a necessity to win 3 in a row? I'm curious to see what y'all think. Y for yes and for no. Tony Fuentes says yes. DJ saying no, they don't need him. And then is that supposed to be Get Eok? I don't know. It's a Y for yes. I'm sorry if I'm not pronouncing that right. And then we got Cody Awesome saying in for no. Manuel Hill saying Y for yes. Also, Andrea from Germany. Shout out Germany. Hope you got to watch the Chiefs beat down the Dolphins this year in Germany. Joe Rogers says no. It's going to be hard, says Martin. I agree. I think it's going to be a little harder, but I mean, that's not to say that he won't be back next year. I'm just kind of curious to see what the poll is here. Steve Lassiter saying Y for yes. I love it. I think they could win without him. I think it would be 10 times harder, but I think they could.
I think it magnifies the importance of every other decision you make that offseason.
Correct.
If you can't bring Chris Jones back for the right price for both sides and he winds up signing somewhere else, it puts a lot of pressure then on bringing back L'Jarius Sneed because the money's there. It brings a lot of pressure on potentially drafting his replacement in the NFL draft and making sure you've got the right guy. Bringing in the right veteran presence on that D-line because no one can actually match Chris Jones' production right out the gate.
Two things about that. One, he talked about the draft. We actually have our first mock draft of the year coming up later on in the show, so stick around. Make sure you're going to be here for that. I got graded pretty high, and a couple of the guys at Chat Sports said it was a pretty good draft, so I'm not going to lie. I like it. And then another thing, you talk about L'Jarius Sneed. Saw something on Twitter today of somebody going into Over the Cap and doing basically a tag Snead, cut Marquez Valdez-Scantling, and re-sign Chris Jones. And it works. That's about all you can do, but it works. You tag Snead, you pay 4 years, 180, I don't know, whatever it was. 4 years for Chris Jones, 118 maybe was what I saw. And
I think if you're looking at about $30 million per year, it'd be somewhere around that range.
118.
Yeah.
And then you restructure Patrick Mahomes, and those two both work, and still leave you around $25 to $30 million ish to kind of throw around at people, maybe a little less depending on who else you re-sign. So it could work. It could work. I will say though, hopefully we just re-sign Chris Jones. We're not having to worry about without him. So if you want him back in 2024, then hit that like button. I'm curious to see who everybody has. We got 80 people watching. How many of y'all think, or how many of y'all want Chris Jones to get re-signed to the Kansas City Chiefs? Get down there and like the video. I'd certainly appreciate it.
I'd be shocked if we don't have at least
50?
30, 40, 50 people that want to re-sign Chris Jones. I mean, he's been the face of this defense, I think, for a long time now.
100%.
And his emergence from being this Chiefs draft pick so long ago has been incredibly fun to watch. I remember when I first started here at Chat Sports, he was still being talked about as like an underrated type of player, drafted in the second round back in 2016. That was back in 2020, and now he's, I think, the best interior defensive lineman in football, because I think Aaron Donald is getting a little up there in age, is very good still, but has not been as good as Chris Jones over the last 2 years.
I will say, I saw a Rams account tweet out just dreaming about Chris Jones and Aaron Donald teaming up on the Rams, and it made me want to puke. So I really hope they re-sign him. I think that would be terrible. That would also be terrible for all the NFC teams.
I mean, right now we only have 24 likes. We only have 24 people that want to re-sign
70
Chris
people
Jones.
watching, too. So, that's
Now it's 69. Nice.
So, literally, not even half of y'all want Chris Jones back. That's what we're hearing. I have a direct line to Patrick Mahomes. I can call him up and say, hey, Chiefs fans, they don't need Chris Jones back. I can call him up. So, if you want to hit the like button, I don't have to call him. But if you don't hit the like button, I may have to call him and say, hey, man, listen, I took a poll. They don't want Chris Jones back. They don't. By the way, have you seen the new thing where, if you talk to kids nowadays, they tell them hold a phone, they do this. But we do this. It's pretty nice. I wonder how you hold on. Anyways, all right. Name a Chiefs player you want to draft. Talked about the mock draft coming up. Also, by the way, 30 likes. So we're getting upward of halfway that y'all want Chris Jones back. That's good. Keeping that 33. Keep going. Name a player you want the Chiefs to draft, though, in the 2024 NFL draft. I'm curious to see y'all got anybody on mind. Also, by the way, DJ, appreciate it. Hashtag Chiefs using that for the questions. Trey Benson. Interesting choice. Okay. But yeah, I think there's a couple of guys I want to. So Maria saying I like Chris Jones. McConkey, lad. Jeff Higgins.
That's such a football name.
Lad McConkey. I got to be honest, though. That's such a Patriots wide receiver. Manuel Hill says Adonai Mitchell. Ho, ho, ho. You may like our mock draft then. Sheldon Walker liked the video. We appreciate you. Who's a receiver, a player, anybody you want to see the Chiefs draft in the 2024 NFL draft? Keon Coleman's one name I heard. Troy Franklin's a name I've heard. Tez Walker, everybody calls him.
I know you may disagree. I think you do disagree to an extent. I would not be surprised to see them potentially look for another corner in the back end of round one.
I wouldn't mind that.
Especially if L'Jarius Sneed isn't back. I think
I wouldn't mind that.
It's a deep class. They'd be bound to have at least a couple options, I think, towards the back end of round one. Maybe, their favorite option requires trading up a few picks. But cornerback is just as important of a position to address this offseason. Just making sure that you've got everything squared away with L'Jarius Sneed. And if not, you've got your backup option.
I think that's where it comes into who do they cut. Because if they cut Kadarius Toney and MVS, then I think you have to draft a wide receiver. Because you have two guys who are free agents that you're probably not going to re-sign in Richie James and Michael Hardman. You didn't re-sign him last year. I don't know what they'll do this year. And then on top of which, if you cut two players, your wide receiver room becomes Rashee Rice, Justin Watson, who I think is a very good wide receiver 3. I think he was so underrated this year. Justin Ross and then Sky Moore, which
could also go 1-1. Sign one, draft one.
Correct. That's kind of my thing.
Deep free agent class, and if anything, you're going to add some nice veteran value to
Mike Evans.
That'd be nice. We'll talk about it here in a sec.
Yeah, there's a lot of things you do, but I definitely think that the three important things: wide receiver, defensive lineman, and cornerback. Even if Chris Jones and L'Jarius Sneed don't leave, I think you still should focus on those three positions just for, down the line. Obviously, if you get L'Jarius Sneed, I think cornerback becomes way less. But your defensive line, you still need more players. Mike Dana, free agent. Derek Nottie, free agent. Just A lot of guys you kind of need to work with. I did see a question in there already, and I see DJ kind of put it up there saying hashtag Chiefs. By the way, DJ, great question. I like that question a lot. Love it. But make sure you're using hashtag Chiefs so we can get your questions on today's show. We'll definitely make sure to get as many as we can on here. And you can also skip the line with a super chat. And we do have a super chat menu today. And we're coming up on the end, or I haven't gotten word from the bosses yet if we're going to extend this into March and do this for a 2-month thing, or if this is going to be the last one. Because is this the last Tuesday in February? Or we got one more?
No, we've got one more.
We got one more. Okay, so no matter what, this will at least go one more live stream. So we got one more, but we got a Mahomes jersey raffle going on for the Patrick Mahomes. Any size, we'll send it to you. It's the Super Bowl one, too. Got the Super Bowl logo. Plus, a Chiefs Hall of Fame ball. We got a bunch of names on here. We're going to auction this off probably next month, but got a couple of names on there. I know that we have Jan Rockefeller all over this, but I want to fill this up. We still got a bunch of space down here. Got some space up here as well. I want to fill this up before we have to ship it off next month to one of you lucky viewers. And then, obviously, the MVP of this month, who is Jan Rockefeller at the moment, is Custom Chiefs here. Custom Chiefs shirt and a Custom Chiefs water bottle. Pretty good if you ask me. You see this, deal of the day. What is it? It is any super chat. We're going to put you on the Hall of Fame ball. So it could be $1. I don't care. We're putting you on the Chiefs Report Hall of Fame ball. We don't really do that. It's $20 usually. Also, if you have a keen eye, like Sam does, I know he does, you also see, we also have an extra deal up here. $20 is also 3 raffle entries. That's 2 deals of the day. We're doing well.
Usually $20, 2 raffle entries. It's almost like a buy 2, get 1 free type of deal.
I know. That's pretty nice.
You're really cooking.
Pretty nice. So, you want to get on the ball?
I wonder if they send a $20 super chat, maybe we write their name twice or something.
Oh, I may add it 3 times. I don't know. You send 20, you get 3 raffle entries on a Tuesday live show. 3 raffle entries, 3 names on the ball. Maybe at least twice.
We'll break it down here in a sec. Jan's dominating the raffle race so far, but that also means that you got a pretty good chance if you get in. Jan's got 28 entries so far. Wallace with 22. I also love Wallace's profile picture. I don't know if we've touched into that yet.
I saw it when I put it on there. I was like, this is amazing.
With Rust, Derek Carr, and Justin Herbert.
I wanted to talk to him, but he hasn't been on the stream for a while. So I'm like, I really want to see him come back here and be like, hey, man, I love your profile photo.
It's great content for the people.
So.
Jay Berg's got 6 and Mason has 2, but like I said, that means you got that much better of a chance if you send in a $20 super chat.
Yeah, $20, that's 3 extra raffles. Just think about it. Jay Berg, boom, 9. That's pretty good right there. Or yourself, boom, you're automatically 4th right there. You're going to have more entries than Mason. Here's our MVP race. Obviously, Jan leading the pack right now. 170 up top. Wallace Stone about 60 away. If anybody wants to get it, you can get in there. The MVP items this month, we're getting 2 items. Getting a little frisky in the Chiefs port. A little custom Chiefs shirt, any size, any name on the back, any number, we'll ship it to you. We'll get it all figured out. Plus a custom Chiefs water bottle with your name on it, or whatever the heck you might want on there. Number 1 Chiefs fan. I love Sam Brown, number 1. Just anything you want. So we can do that as well.
Jan, if that's what you decide you want to write there, I won't stop you. if you win, still plenty of time.
Why does your water bottle say, I love Sam? You don't know the legend. You don't. Think about that. Like, no one's going to know except you.
If you know, you know. If you don't, it's too late.
IYY, whatever the heck that acronym. IYKYK. IYKYK? All right, well, we're about ready to get the show started on the road here. Get this show on the road. If you're ready to start the show, I want you to spam go in the chat. I'm curious to see who's ready. We got Mike Evans rumors. We got Chris Jones rumors. We got a mock draft. We got a bunch of stuff all coming up. So if you're ready, I want you to start spamming go in the comment section, because the more goes, the faster we get the show on the road. So I see Tony Fuentes and Joe Rogers are ready for it to go. We have 90 people watching, though. And hey, Tim Wells with a $20 super chat.
Let's
Shout
go,
out to Tim.
And
it's
a first-time super chatter.
Which, you know what that means.
Well, this deal usually happens no matter what today.
Correct.
But it's even better that it's a first-time super chatter.
Tim, if you don't know what's going on, get ready to experience the experience of a lifetime. Tim, Tim. Let's go, Tim.
Whew.
And he also is going to be added to the Hall of Fame ball twice. You're getting 3 raffle entries. Tim Wells, you are an absolute legend. And Tim, you know your legend status when you force another Chiefs Report legend to tack on as well as Jan Rockefeller says, I love Sam. Let's go, Jan. And let me write Tim's name on the ball, and then we'll get Jan's going because we all know what's coming here.
I think I've got the raffle entries almost updated here. We're doing live updates here on the Chiefs Report. Bad radio, but it's going to work out in the end.
Bad radio.
Wait, I got to add Jan. We're crushing it so far.
Tim, legendary, my guy. I got you right there, and I got you right next to Jan. Tim Wells.
There we go.
Look at that.
We got our updated raffle entries.
Oh,
no way.
DJ follows it with a $40 super chat. Let's go, DJ. That's a lot of raffle entries. That's 6 right there.
I'm out here doing all the math now.
That's 6 raffle entries right there. I'm going to get Jan's going because we owe some chops. So I'm going to start Jan's. We'll get Sam on here with Jan. And then before I do it, DJ, do you want it DJ or you want it Dale Webb? We can do it either way. I know you have your profile as Dale Webb, but we're close friends, so I get to call you DJ. So how do you want your Chiefs chop promoted? By the way, love the question as well. That'll be the first one. DJ, please. Your wish is my command. DJ, 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 DJ. Let's go.
Whew.
Legendary stuff from the crew already.
That gets the blood going. Like that's how you get fired up for a show right now.
That's
I'm looking right now. I think I've got the math well.
Jeff Crosby with a $20 super chat to get his name in the raffle 3 times, to get his name on the Kansas City Chiefs Hall of Fame football. Oh, Jeff, you're a legend.
Making my life harder, but I don't care.
Who cares?
I'm okay with it.
It's all right. Let's do it. Jeff. Let's go. All right, I got to catch up on some names here on the freaking ball.
This is an electric start so
This is
far.
a legendary time.
I'm glad this is how I'm spending my Tuesday. I know that much.
This is a great start to
Hold on.
to the live stream.
I think I've got this close to updated, but you guys are making me do it on the fly a little bit. Definitely worth it.
I was about to say, we'll take it.
I'm going to have to double check this once it's done. Let me get the super chat menu back on. Shout out to Jeff. $20
Jan,
super chat.
There you are on the ball. And then let's get DJ. I'm going to put you on here.
This is going to be a great day, I think.
Oh, it's already a great day, man.
Let's see.
We lit the flame.
Let's see if I have this right here. Okay, I got to get one more here.
Oh man, y'all are making.
Can you
my
hear me
day.
typing in the background? I think you can. I'm going as fast as I can here.
You got it. We got all the time in the world to hang out with our friends.
Oh, as long as the party keeps going like this, we'll keep it riding.
DJ, got you right there. Dale Webb plus the DJ, and I also got you at the top of the football, man. Right there. DJ. There we go.
All right.
Let's go.
You got Jan and Tim already?
And now I got to get Jeff.
Now you got to get Jeff.
Jeff, we'll put you at the top over here, man.
All right. I know this first one is right. Let me check the second one. This is our current MVP race, Jace. It is going to be an electric race at the finish.
It's going. It's going, man.
So Jan in the lead, still at 190. Wallace Stone, who we haven't seen, still in second place. Dale Webb makes his entrance on the leaderboard and jumps straight to third place. Jeff Crosby and Tim Wells both coming in at $20 apiece, which means as far as our raffle entries go, I added Jan's 3 for today. She's got 31 total now. Tim has 3. Jeff has 3. Dale has 6. Jan is going to get one more.
She gets one more. Jan Rockefeller. That puts her at 200 total, right? 200 total for Jan.
Yes.
200 total.
Or yes.
She was at 190, wasn't she?
Yeah.
Yeah. 200 total for
Jan's
Jan.
the best.
What a legend. She also says, love JC. Huh, Jan.
Too kind.
You're too kind. I'm going to put you on the ball one more time, but I do want to show off some names here real quick. We got Jeff Crosby right next to DJ. We got Jeff Crosby up here as well. Top of the ball. And then Jan, I'll put you one more time over here. You're such a freaking legend. Cannot express it. Our appreciation goes miles and miles.
Believe it or not, we do have an actual show, too, that's coming after this. But when you start off with $110 in Super Chats, you got to let the party go.
We always like to bring the party here, and y'all have helped us bring the party. So, that's the whole thing.
There we go. Jan gets one more on the football.
Right there.
She's probably got 5 or 6 of them by now.
1, 2. She was the first one on the ball. 1, 2.
That's an honor.
3, 4, 5. They should got 5 or 6. Man.
Not too shabby.
Not too bad. Not too bad. Shout out to everybody, man. We do have a show to get to, by the way. Mike Evans, Chris Jones. We're going to talk about all that here in a second. But just a quick shout out to Jeff Crosby, Jan Rockefeller, DJ. Y'all are just legends, along with Tim Wells, a first-time Super Chatter. We're honored to be your first. You never forget.
Yeah, you never forget your first.
With that being said, though, we got the latest offseason rumors. We're going to talk a Chiefs mock draft, and we have a Q&A coming up, mailbag. So if you want to get on here.
We've got the answers.
We have the answers to the question. So we're going to start right now. Jan, I know, has some Super Chats. If any of the Super Chatters, if you want to put a question, we'll make sure to get you on the show. DJ, your question will be first because we see you with there on your question on the $40 Super Chat, so we really appreciate it. But we're going to get going here. The latest offseason rumors, Chris Jones, Mike Evans. I don't know. We're going to talk about all that as soon as I find the script. There we go. All right. Who's ready to go? Let's go. Chiefs Kingdom, the offseason is fully here, which means we get to do whatever the heck we want and talk about all the players who could potentially be joining the Chiefs for a 3-peater. And guess what? Mike Evans, that's the first topic on today's show. He is officially going to free agency. And so, will the Chiefs make a move for the veteran wide receiver from Tampa Bay? We'll talk about that on today's show. Plus, Chris Jones, the latest on him, had a little bit of a cryptic tweet. We'll talk about that in the later part of the show, so make sure you stick around. We have a bunch of amazing content for you. But before that, obviously, Mike Evans is probably the reason you clicked on this video, and honestly, it's the main topic of the show. So I ask you, before we get started, before I tell you all the facts, before I tell you the stats, would you want Mike Evans to be a part of the Kansas City Chiefs team that is going to go 3-peat for the first time in the Super Bowl era? Let me know. Type S for sign, type P for pass. What are you thinking about Mike Evans to KC in 2024? With that being said, let's get rolling right here, and we're going to talk about him because, well, yesterday marked the deadline for the franchise tag to be placed on Mike Evans. So he's officially now headed to free agency in just a couple weeks. Now, I want to kind of run through a couple of Twitter things here just to kind of show you exactly what that means, franchise tag, all the drama that went around that. So Adam Schefter, one of the first ones to report it, saying, due to his 2023 cap number, Buccaneers wide receiver Mike Evans' projected franchise tag would be $28.4 million instead of the regular $21.6 million, meaning he is not expected to be a tag candidate. That was a couple days ago. We then followed up with yesterday saying Jordan Schultz saying The Buccaneers had a soft deadline today to get an extension done with Pro Bowl wide receiver Mike Evans, but both sides remain far apart. Sources say Tampa Bay is set to take on $7.4 million in 2024 dead money by not getting a deal done today. Now, this was at 9:02 a.m. Well, guess what? 9:09 a.m., we got the official report, Diana Rossini, saying today is the day that could save the Bucs, Today is the day that could save the Bucs some money by re-signing all-pro wide receiver Mike Evans. However, that deal won't happen today. Look for the two sides to continue to negotiate in good faith as they work towards the start of free agency. Obviously, all these combined just really all mean one thing. They didn't get a franchise tag deal done. That doesn't mean that he's not going to re-sign with the Tampa Bay Buccaneers, but it does, however, open the door for him to go to potentially other teams, and within a couple weeks, the Chiefs can start making offers without it being tampering and all that stuff. So now, why the Chiefs? Well, we all know the Chiefs need a wide receiver. That's going to be the topic of this offseason for pretty much a majority of it in the draft, in free agency. You need some wide receivers. The fact that your wide receiver one this year was Rashee Rice, which I'm not crapping on Rashee Rice. I think he is an amazing wide receiver one. The people behind him scare me, though. I don't trust Kadarius Toney. MVS was great in the postseason, but I still remember what the heck he did in the regular season. I cannot forget that. McCall Hardman, who's a free agent. Justin Watson, who I think is underrated, but still a wide receiver 3 at best, in my opinion. Richie James, a free agent. Justin Ross, never really got to see him this year. And then Sky Moore, who effectively has been a bust. I don't want to say that, but at the same time, I think we have to start mentioning that word with his name just because, round 2 pick and you don't get anything out of him and it's almost year 3. That's really tough. Mike Evans, though, well, he's pretty proven, if you ask me, and if you ask anybody around the NFL. He's played a lot of games in his past 4 years. He's had 1,000 yards in every single season he's played. By the way, that's 10 seasons, 1,000 yards. And his average continues to climb as he continues in age. Let's look at this season. 15.9 on the average. Now, you watch this show a lot, you know, I'm an average guy. I like to see the averages up there because that means longer catches, more explosive plays, and more fun to watch. That's exactly what Mike Evans is. Plus, he's got a bunch of touchdowns across the board. And why the Chiefs? It's because they're one of the favorites to land Mike Evans. This one coming from the odds book saying Houston Texans were the favorite. They were just jumped the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. Actually a day ago. The bookies given here, Tampa Bay Buccaneers 325, and then the Chiefs, the next best option. And then it really is a separation. There's a separation here, but then 450 to 750, and then 900 for the New England Patriots plus 900. So, hey, I guess go put some money on him. The Chiefs could definitely get up. And the reason the Texans are on here, I do want to mention this real quick. He is from Galveston. Go watch Jameis Winston's video on it. So the Texans could potentially grab him, bring him back home. Plus, he also played at Texas A&M, kind of a homecoming situation for that. Now, Evans is definitely the probably most legit wide receiver guy in free agency this year. He's had the 9th most yards in the NFL in 23. He was tied for first in the NFL in receiving touchdowns. And overall, he's been this way since he was drafted. And I think the bigger thing about Mike Evans is he's done this with countless amounts of quarterbacks. He did it with Tom Brady. He did it with Jameis Winston. He did it with Baker Mayfield. I'm not going to crap on Baker Mayfield, but still, the fact that he's doing this with every single guy is pretty impressive, got to be honest. So I think that says a lot about Mike Evans. So I'm curious to see how we can kind of go about this with Mike Evans. And who knows, maybe he could potentially come in here and hopefully you can come in here and re-sign him. So I asked this question again. I know we had it at the top of the show, but would you sign Mike Evans? Want you to type S for sign or type P for pass. Let me know down in the comment section. I'm curious to see what you think. So overall, though, Mike Evans is kind of one of these guys that you look at and see as a top wide receiver free agent. Now, there are other guys that you could get. You have Michael Pittman Jr., you have T. Higgins, you have Marquise Brown, and you have Calvin Ridley. Now, here's the thing, though. Not exactly proven enough to me. Still pretty young, not proven enough, not proven enough. That's the guy. Mike Evans is the one. If you want a top-tier wide receiver that you know the ins, the outs, the way he plays the game, it's going to work with your play style, it's going to be Mike Evans. That's the way it all works. Now, I say this, stating there is a chance that you have to settle for one of these wide receivers. And I say settle as a light term, because I think you can get Pittman, and he would be good. I think T. Higgins would be great. I think Marquise Brown would be great. I think Calvin Ridley, honestly, may be the best fit in terms of money and value, everything. But I still think the Chiefs need to sit here and look at this and say, okay, we have to look at Mike Evans as the number one option. We have to have him as the guy that we put all of our chips on the board if we want to. If you don't, then I think you need to focus heavy on the draft and the way that you go about that with your wide receiver core. Either way it happens, though, it's going to be an exciting season, and I'm excited to put some more prize picks on them next year. Hopefully, I'm putting on some Mike Evans receiving yards with the Kansas City Chiefs and Patrick Mahomes, but you can get a $100 deposit match right now by going to prizepicks.com/CLNS and using code CLNS. Now, I know NFL season's over. We're all kind of a little sad about it, but guess what? They've got NBA, NHL, and my favorite, MLB season-long totals are officially out on the app. And guess what? I've got some ones that I'm pretty confident. We got Shohei Ohtani, $700 million deal. You better hit 40 home runs for $700 million. Good gosh. Juan Soto, who's playing in a Little League park at Yankee Stadium, so he's going to hit 40 bombs. Bobby Witt Jr., the KC guy. He signed with the Kansas City Royals on a big contract. I'm assuming he's going to get more on his 169.5 hits. Nice. Adolis Garcia, 32.5 on the home runs. Listen, coming off a World Series, I trust Adolis is going to pimp some homers. I'm saying 35 for him. I'm going them more. Now, how do you play prize picks? When you question, what are you watching? What are you seeing? Well, here's how. All you do, you choose 2 or more players. You can go 2 to 6. Then you choose more or less on their prize picks projected stats. For instance, I had home runs and hits on there. You could do strikeouts. There's a bunch of things you could do. Then you can choose flex or power play depending on how confident you are in those picks hitting. But either way, you can get a $100 deposit match by going to prizepicks.com/CLNS and using that code CLNS. Honestly, testing my skills on prize picks this season has been the most exciting way to play daily fantasy sports. And if you have the skills, you can turn $10 into $250 with just a few taps. Quick withdrawals, easy gameplay, and an enormous selection of players and stat types. That's what makes Prize Picks the #1 daily fantasy sports app. Just Prize Picks, it's daily fantasy sports made easy. Once again, prizepicks.com/CLNS with that code CLNS. That'll be in the comments and the description of this video. All right, let's transition here to Chris Jones and kind of what happened with him. So obviously the franchise tag also applies to Chris Jones in a way. He's just unlikely of it, just like Mike Evans. Now, due to his 2023 cap number, Chiefs defensive lineman Chris Jones' projected franchise tag will be $32 million instead of the regular $19.7 million, making him an unlikely tag candidate. Now, Chris Jones wants $30 million, so $32 million doesn't make sense. You could probably get something better, and there's a whole slew of things that goes along with that. But ultimately, we already knew this. I mean, I'm not going to say that this is big breaking news. I don't want to sit here and portray that to you and say, oh, we didn't expect this. What was this? No, it's not. Today is the first day that they can actually open up that franchise tag period. I could see L'Jarius Sneed getting franchise tagged. I honestly think that would be really awesome. But overall, I don't think Chris Jones will be, and really nobody else does as well. Dan Graziano, though, did kind of talk about Graziano. Is that the rest way? Graziano. There we go. I am really bad at names. But either way, he talked on the NFL Network a couple days ago and talked about how the Chiefs if they could three-peat with Chris Jones. He said, no, I think he is their second most important player. Honestly, after the quarterback, he's the second most. No offense to L'Jarius Sneed, he is great, but I think Chris Jones is the more irreplaceable player on that defense. I agree, but I'm kind of curious because he's basically saying that the Chiefs cannot three-peat without Chris Jones. Do you think that? I think this is an interesting comment. I'm kind of curious. I want to poll Chiefs Kingdom right here. Do you think they can do it without Chris Jones? Type Y for yes if you think they can without Chris, or type in for no. I'm really curious to see. I think that this could go either way because, honestly, you have Patrick Mahomes, so you can win whenever, but this defense was honestly the reason the Chiefs were in the Super Bowl and the big reason why they won it, to be honest. So let me know Y for yes if you think the Chiefs could win it without him, and for no if you think they could not. Chris Jones did tweet out something a couple days ago. I don't know what to make of it. He said, I'm finally back to myself, ... Life is good. I don't know if this was after the parade. I don't know. Like, obviously, it was days after that, so I don't know. And I just have to say exactly this. Oh, boy, the tweeting Chris Jones is back. If you remember the holdout situation, everything that happened there, he was very cryptic in his tweets, and it seems like we're about to get that back, which, for better or for worse, it's kind of like a riddle. We just have to try and solve it. I don't really know what he's talking about in that. But hey, maybe that's something good. Maybe it's something bad. It's every tweet you can read too much into. But hey, Chris Jones, just come back and play for Kansas City. That's all I got to say. Why? Yeah, it's because you're one of the best defensive linemen in the past 8 years, whatever it is, or I guess that's 6 years. TJ Watt has the most sacks since 2018, 90, obviously. Myles Garrett, 82.5. Defensive Player of the Year. Myles Garrett, by the way. Aaron Donald, 77.5, and then Chris Jones, 69.5. Pretty dang close, obviously. Chris Jones, I think, is still coming into his form a little bit. He had 15.5 sacks 2 years ago, 10.5 this year. In some ways, this is kind of his prime of his career. He's got about 2-3 years left of a prime season, I would say. Obviously, defensive lineman, that could really change with injuries here and there, but still, I think he could really kind of boost up his numbers over the past couple of years. Now, I do want to go back to the statement that Chris Jones made at the parade. Obviously, the events that happened that following it wasn't exactly what we would have liked to have been talking about, so I'm kind of want to get back into more of what actually happened at the parade. And he said this, and I think people forgot about it. He was on the mic, obviously maybe a little bit intoxicated, but that's besides the point, saying, I need 3 of those rings. We ain't done yet. Kansas City, we're going to be back here. I ain't going nowhere, baby. I'll be here next year and the year after. And then he starts chanting, 3-peat, 3-peat, 3-peat. That's pretty good. And now, obviously he says this, but that's one thing. But it does come from Adam Schefter, too. That has a little more ground. The Chiefs, he said this on the Pat McAfee show, what was that, last Monday, the day after the Super Bowl, saying the Chiefs are going to run it back with a lot of this team intact. I don't think Chris Jones is going to want to leave unless there's some huge offers out there. Yeah, Chris Jones is the priority. I think that's the only thing that I can kind of hit on the most here. Chris Jones has to be your priority when it comes to formulating your offseason plan. He runs that defense. He is the more vocal leader. I love L'Jarius Sneed. I hope he's back too. But you have to sign back Chris Jones over him if that's the choice. I think that Chris Jones is the obvious one you have to go through. And honestly, I sit here today and I say this. If Chris Jones re-signs with the Chiefs, I honestly don't know if much else matters. You could lose almost every other free agent besides like maybe Drew Tranquill and Mike Edwards. I think you can go 3-peat with those guys. I think you can go win again. So that's just my opinion, though. Overall, if you get him back, you got a real good shot to go win it again in 2025 Super Bowl, obviously. Hey, I want to go to New Orleans, so I'm hoping the Chiefs will be there, too. Make sure you hit that subscribe button, youtube.com/ChiefsTV. I'd certainly appreciate everything that you could do. So hitting that subscribe button makes you join one of the largest growing Chiefs communities here on YouTube. As always, Chiefs Kingdom, peace out. Nice. Nice. That's all right. Cut Reed to save money. Connor's a stud. I love Shamari. Shamari's a goat. I think he's amazing. People attacked me. Sam, I know you weren't there when we made that video, but I told that we should cut Justin Reed because he would save $12 million. People wanted to slaughter me. So, but you want to know some interesting stats?
Listen, I think it's funny to. I want to not correct you, but I think whenever we do cut candidates videos, it's always guys they could cut.
Correct. Does not mean they're going to.
You're never advocating for guys that saying they should be cut unless you're outright saying it. These videos are simply to present. Yeah, sometimes there are players you present to as players that they could cut. But
Kadarius doesn't save you any money, but you should still cut them.
But all these players that are on there, they're not on there just because they're bad.
No.
You simply have to be able to lay out every single option on the table. That's part of what makes a good GM. So we're trying to be a good YouTube GM in a way.
Well, and I think the bigger thing, I didn't realize this. His PFF grade was terrible. I know that doesn't mean a lot in some ways. Some players just aren't PFF guys, but they play well. That's statistical. It's just the way it works. His PFF grade was literally 58 for the season, and in the Super Bowl it was 54. And I'm just well, listen, I know that doesn't mean everything, but that's still kind of something here. So I'm kind of curious. But hey, we got a bunch of whys for if the Chiefs can repeat. So Lynn saying cut Tony. I know. We need to cut Tony. It stinks because he's not going to save you any money, but you have to just let him go. So I don't know, man. Brian Schaefer saying why for yes. Kind of curious. It's just I think they could win without him. I don't know. Sign Super Bowl 50. Woohoo. Paul Amos said why for yes. Andrew says Chris Jones is the GOAT. Lynn says I want the need for Sneed. Me too. I want him back so bad, but I just, again, to what Sam was saying, unfortunately, an NFL GM doesn't get to have friends in the business, and we're trying to be the best YouTube GMs we can be.
By the way, other NFL news, Chiefs legend Darian Kennard signed with the Eagles on a futures deal.
Darian Kennard.
There you go.
Wasn't he a part of that 2022 draft? That had all the legends?
Sixth or seventh round.
Yeah. He's the one that didn't get the ring. Yeah. Well, I guess he got it last year, technically. I don't know if he was on the practice squad. I guess he got it. I don't know. Hey, Pacheco, Leo Chenal, Sky Moore. I know he hadn't worked out, but Trent McDuffie, and then George Karlaftis. Pretty good draft. Going to have a short on that, actually, by the way, in a couple days. So make sure you're checking out the shorts. We're putting out a lot of those. Some good, nice, clean-cut content for whenever you're on the run. So Judah saying why for yes, the Chiefs could win without it. DJ saying cut MVS. I agree. I agree. I think they should cut him. I don't care that, he did well. Ultimately, he's saving you $12 million. It's the same thing of, did well or not. You have to remember what he did in the regular season. It was bad. That junk cap. I will say, there is reports that the cap space could go up about $10 million. So, could be a way that the Chiefs could get a little extra money in the cap space total. But anyways, we're going to get to another segment here in just a second on our first Chiefs mock draft. Going a full, technically 5 rounds because that's where the Chiefs have picks. The other 2 rounds. Technically, they don't have them. It's with the Raiders. And what was the other one? I don't know who it was. Who's with?
It was Lonnie Johnson with the
Panthers?
Cardinals?
I don't know who he traded for. We traded for somebody and gave him a pick. And PFF screwed me.
Texans.
That's what it is. Okay. So Texans get their pick. So anyways, we're going to have a mock draft, full 5 rounds. Talk about all the picks and kind of why I see them being a selection for the Chiefs. But get your questions in. We're going to have a mailbag segment here in just a second. Obviously, you want to skip the line. We got a super chat menu. Already had amazing legends today, but $10 to get on the Holmes jersey raffle. It's the Mahomes Super Bowl jersey, too. So it's a nice jersey. Don't worry. We'll set that up. Fancy. By the way, ordered my Chiefs Super Bowl hat. Got here today. Excited for that. So watch for tomorrow's show. I may show it off. $20 you're going to get on the Hall of Fame ball, and you're going to get 3 raffle entries. It's one of our deals of the day as you're going to get in here. Already got a bunch of names. Signed a bunch of names on here today. So I want to fill this up. We're starting to get some less white on here. I want this to be, I want to see a bunch of signatures on here as much as possible. MVP gear this month. Potentially maybe going to March. Haven't really gotten an official word from the bosses yet. But either way, dropped the ball. My bad. I dropped the ball on that one. Sorry. Your Chiefs custom gear. It's a custom Chiefs shirt. Put your name on the back. Put your number on the back. Whatever you want in there. I have a couple similar ones for. So if you want to get in there, and then of course here's our raffle entries at the moment. Jan has 32. Wallace has 22. DJ has 6. Jay Berg has 6. Jeff Crosby's got 3. Tim Wells has 3. And Mason has 2. And hey, as Sam said on there, this could be you. You could be next. And then MVP race, Jan Rockefeller rowing the boat herself, $205. How'd she get 205?
What's that?
How'd she get 205? Wasn't it 200?
Did I just do something stupid? Yeah, no, it's 200. I don't know why I did that.
It's okay. Sam is good at pushing graphics and making graphics, not math. Anyway.
The thing is I'm good at math. I don't know why I just added 15.
Well, I don't know. You did go to Oklahoma. So anyway, I love it because you can't say anything to me. You just have to keep going.
Well, you went to school in the same state.
Correct, but you went to the worst school in the state. If you can't tell, we did go to rivaling colleges. Unfortunately, though, I went to college right when he graduated college, so you can't see Sam, but he's very disappointed in me right now. All right, Chiefs mock draft is coming up here in just a second. Make sure you're using hashtag Chiefs. Get those questions, and hey, we're still going to be taking them in this entire show. So if you got a question that comes off the heels of this show that we're about to do about the mock draft, about anything, just use hashtag Chiefs. We'll get it in there. So without further ado, though, my first full mock draft.
Real quick, I can guarantee right now we're going to get questions from Dale Webb. He's going to be the first one with his $40 super chat. Shout out to Dale. Jan Rockefeller, obviously getting on the show here. Let's see. Did we get a question from Jeff? Jeff, if you have a question, if you use hashtag Chiefs, I guarantee it will get you in there. Dale Webb's going to be on there. Tony Fuentes, Shad Jameson, Boomer Miller, some of the usual suspects. But I just saw Demon Angels also just sending a question. So you're going to get on the show too.
Let's go. Well, you still got some time. If you haven't heard your name, keep putting in hashtag Chiefs. We're going to get y'all on the show as much as humanly possible because I like talking Chiefs with y'all. I like talking. It's fun. So, Sam, you ready to go here for our Chiefs mock draft? Yes, he says. Okay, Chiefs mock draft time. Full 7-rounder, although the Chiefs only have 5 picks, excuse me, 6 picks in the first 5 rounds. 1, 2, 3, 4, and then 2 in round 5. We'll bring it up to you all right here on the Chiefs Support by Chat Sports. It's finally mock draft season, and it feels nice drafting with a ring on my finger. So we appreciate you watching here on the Chiefs Report by Chat Sports. I'm your host, Jace Andrews, and today we're going to go through the first Chiefs Report 7-round mock draft of the Kansas City Chiefs upcoming 2024 draft. We appreciate you joining. Let's kind of start getting into the show here. I do want to pause and say that the Chiefs do not have a pick in each round. They have 2 in round 5, but round 6 was traded for Neil Jr., and they also traded away their round 7 draft pick as well. So here are the draft picks they have as we stand. Round 1, round 2, round 3, round 4, and then round 5 via Dallas, and then a compensatory pick in round 5 as well, which stands them at 6 picks in this draft. We're going to go through all of them and who I would pick if I was Brett Veach and the Kansas City Chiefs at every single one of those picks. But before we do that, if you're excited to see who the Chiefs draft in 2024, obviously we're doing mock drafts. We'll do some more and kind of go through some other people's mock drafts, see what they say. But if you're excited to see who the Chiefs draft, like the video. Let me know in that. Go down there, hit that like button. Takes a couple of seconds. I'm pretty excited. I'm going to hit the like button. So why don't you do it the same? I'd really appreciate it. Plus, it helps us know that you're excited for all the mock draft coverage and honestly, everything we can do with draft season, really, honestly, here already. So hit that like button, and let's get going on today's show with the first pick that I have for the Kansas City Chiefs being Adonai Mitchell, AD, as they like to call him. And honestly, I'm not going to say it, but I am going to say it. I had a little bit of a show about 3-4 months ago where I said the Chiefs should pick AD Mitchell. Now we're here at mock draft season, and I'm still saying it, and experts are saying it. I'm going to pat myself on the back here real quick, but besides the point, AD Mitchell, wide receiver out of Texas, played with Georgia for a couple years as well, and it could be AD, it could be Troy Franklin, it could be Keon Coleman, doesn't really matter. At the same time, it's going to be a wide receiver. I think that's the ultimate inclination I'm getting. The Chiefs will get a wide receiver in that round 1 pick, barring any free agency signings. If they sign T. Higgins, they sign Mike Evans, well, maybe they might draft a defensive interior lineman, interior defensive lineman, or potentially a cornerback in that round 1 slot. But I'm pretty sure that it's going to be a wide receiver in round 1. If not, get one in round 2. But there's a lot of good options. Honestly, the depth of the wide receiver position is really good. And it starts with AD. I think at 32, that's a good slot for him. And my thing is, he performed at 2 different colleges. Obviously, the University of Georgia first 2 years, where he had 426 yards in the first year, 29 receptions, which was good. Then didn't get to play the entire season just in 2022. 9 receptions, 134 yards, still 3 touchdowns. So that's a 1/3 touchdown to reception ratio. Pretty good. And then in 2023, this past year, got to finally see him in full effect with Quinn Ewers, 55 receptions, 845 yards, and 11 touchdowns. And the thing that I like about him is he performs in the big game. He played, obviously, in 5 college football playoff games. Played with 4 with UGA and played in 1 with Texas this past year. Guess what? He has a touchdown in all 5 games he's played in the CFP. I don't know about you, but I like that. Even the year that he didn't play the entire year, he still got a touchdown in each of those 2 games that Georgia played, ending up with Stetson Bennett and a national championship trophy. So, hey, if a guy plays better when the lights shine bright, I'm going to take that every single day of the week. Now, why are wide receivers the ones we're going to talk about? Well, it's pretty obvious. The drops were just unacceptable. 44 drops in the 2023 regular season, which was only comparable to the Browns, who had 42, and the Cowboys, who had 37. Just so you know, the last team to have this amount of drops, oh yeah, that was the 0-16 Browns from 2016, 2017, whatever it was. I mean, the fact that the Chiefs were Super Bowl champions with the same stat line as somebody who didn't win a game, listen, that's something. Now, obviously, if you kind of think of that in the opposite way, all right, we'll fix the drops. You should win the Super Bowl this year easily. We don't have to worry about that 5 or 6 game stretch where the Chiefs were really struggling. So we'll have to see, though. But I do ask the question, obviously. This is just me kind of throwing my thoughts out there. Do you like it? AD Mitchell, round 1. Type Y for yes. If you like the pick, type in for no. I'm curious to see how y'all feel. I know that now we're closer to mock draft, closer to the NFL draft. So get a little better of a inclination on how y'all are feeling. Why for yes, in for no. Do you like the pick of A.D. Mitchell in round 1? Let's go to round 2 here, pick number 64. I'm going to go wide receiver again just because in my mind there's going to be a hole to be filled. It's going to be wide receivers, and there's going to be some guys that are cut. Tez Walker, Devon Tez. Dude had some really unfortunate situations with the NCAA, was only able to play about 8 games this past year, but still, in those 8 games, he performed. 699 yards, 7 touchdowns, 17 average, and 41 receptions. And I think the thing that I like about Tez, he didn't really complain a lot. He was always like, I'm ready to go whenever, and he played with Drake May, who was a NFL caliber quarterback, and he played well. Imagine you give him Patrick Mahomes. I think this could be a really good combination. I'm just kind of thinking out loud here. Looking at a Chiefs wide receiver depth chart of Rashee Rice, A.D. Mitchell, Tez Walker, and Justin Watson, and then Sky Moore behind them, I kind of like that. I'm not going to lie. I think that's a really good young wide receiver core as well. You're not going to play that. So I think that's why you double up on wide receivers early, just because ultimately there's a lot of things you can go there. Plus, look at the Packers and the way they built their team. You have guys like Christian Watson, Reed. There's Romeo Dobbs. There's a lot of young guys. The Chiefs could be like that with Patrick Mahomes, not Jordan Love, and a defense that is better than the Packers. There's a lot of things that could go right with that. So, honestly, there's a lot of ways to be positive. Wide receiver, I think, has got to be the heavy fold here. At the same time, though, I think in some ways, if you're going to take a wide receiver in both rounds, what about going up to a team at pick 15, pick 12, saying, hey, we've got round 1, we got round 2. We'll give you both of them if you give us pick number 11. Say Roma Odunze is there, still left, fall us back. I think it'd be a good option. I mean, I don't know if it's going to happen, but if you're going to draft 2 wide receivers, might as well go kind of trade up there and see if you can find somebody who maybe would be willing to trade back. Obviously, they'd be trading back a long way, so it'd kind of have to be worth their while. But, I mean, it's a thought. You could obviously go up to like 25 with the Packers. I know the Packers have talked about trading their pick. Maybe Keon Coleman's there. Although I'm not too high on him. But either way, I will say, though, if you want to go watch the rookies, whoever they might be in 2024, make sure you're using Game Time. You can still get $20 off your first purchase with code ChiefsChat. Obviously, though, football season a little bit away, but that's okay. They've got awesome deals on pretty much every ticketing event in your area. They got sports, they got music, comedy, and theater events, and they know that you shouldn't have to worry about buying tickets to your next big event, so they're going to give you the peace of mind when buying tickets with their best price guarantee. And guess what? I talk about new sports. Baseball season's right around the corner. And honestly, I'm excited to go. I'm excited to go check out some games. You should be too. The Royals open their season up with the Minnesota Twins on opening day. They got some spring training games coming up as well. So if you're in Florida, you can go check those out or want to make a trip, go to the beach, go watch a couple Royals games. I believe they're in the Florida League. They may be in the Cactus League. Either way, you can go check out some games. Honestly, opening day against Minnesota, going to be a nice one. Bobby Witt Jr. signing that big contract. Make sure you go check out the Royals games. Plus, they have a new stadium coming in here in a couple of years. So it's going to be some of your last chances to go check out Kauffman Stadium. So make sure you go get a game in Kansas City. It's going to be fun. Again, you can use code ChiefsChat to get $20 off your first purchase. You can do that with anything, concerts, whatever. Use the code ChiefsChat. We're going to put that in the comments and the link in the description of this video. But download the Game Time app, create an account, and use code ChiefsChat for $20 off your first purchase. Terms apply. Again, create an account, redeem code CHIEFS, CHAT, Chiefs Chat, no spaces, for $20 off. We'll put that in the comments and the description of this video. Download Game Time today. Last minute tickets at the lowest price, guaranteed. Let's continue on with this mock draft. Leonard Taylor III out of Miami, the defensive lineman in round 3. I think PFF ranked this as a B pick or something like that. I don't know. We'll see at the end of the show. I kind of forgot. I like this guy overall. He's not going to blow you out of the water with his sack number, 7 sacks through 3 seasons at Miami, but he hurried the quarterback a lot, 36. And honestly, when you have Chris Jones, Charles Omenihu, George Karlaftis, all potentially under contract, if you can re-sign Chris Jones, there is a very good potential that if you could just fill that spot with somebody halfway decent, and I think that's what Leonard Taylor is pretty good, go in there, you're probably feeling pretty good. Obviously, Mike Pennell played well in the Super Bowl, so you got some depth there, but I want to kind of continue to grow that. Felix Nduke-Uzoma could also play on the edge, but you need someone in the interior, and that's what Leonard Taylor could do for you more on the interior side of things, helping out with Derek Nottie being a free agent. You kind of want to try and fill that role. So that's the way Leonard Taylor kind of fits into my mock draft. Let's go into the round 4 pick, and hey, a Kansas State guy. What do you know? The Chiefs taking a Kansas State guy. Couldn't have thought. Hey, Cooper Bebe is going to be one of those, is going to be a top pick, and I don't know why, but PFF did not like me picking him. I know it's a guard, and so he's more interior than outside, and Donovan Smith is going to be probably leaving. I don't think they're going to re-sign him, so you honestly probably more need a tackle. But the fact of the matter is he was a 2-time Big 12 Offensive Lineman of the Year. I think, obviously you can see he's built like a fridge. This dude is huge. He could move him over to the side. And I do say that the Chiefs do like Wanya Morris a lot. So they may try and get a guard that could potentially just play on that left side as well. Plus, Kansas State ties, I think overall, it just kind of works in a lot of manners. I know he's technically a guard. He could play tackle, though. Just slot him over one side. And if you see him here, he's actually more or less playing somewhat of a tackle-like position because you see there's no edge on this right side here. It's kind of setting that as well. So he can do a lot of things. And Big 12 Offensive Lineman of the Year, 2 times running. I like that a lot. I will say this, not just mock drafts is what we got here. We got a bunch of stuff on the offseason. We got free agency rumors. We got trade analytics. Pretty much anything you want for the offseason, we got you covered right here on the Chiefs Report by Chat Sports. So hit that subscribe button, lock us in, and make sure you're here for the entirety of the 2024 Chiefs offseason. Plus, draft coming up. We're doing a mock draft right now. When the draft is here, we're going to be live. Me, Sam, hanging out with y'all, having a good time watching the 2024 NFL draft. Can't wait to do it, so hit that subscribe button so you lock us in right now. All right, Dylan Johnson, the running back from Washington at round 5, pick 158. The running back, and the reason I pick a running back here is because you're going to be short on running backs depending on how you sign them. You have Isaiah Pacheco, who's locked in. He's still on that 3rd year of the rookie deal. Clyde Edwards-Helaire, though, and Jerick McKinnon are both free agents. And I think you sign one of them back. I don't think you sign both of them back. You got Pacheco in the 7th round, so I don't mind waiting a little bit, go to round 5 here to get your running back in Dylan Johnson. I think he can fit in well if you say sign Jerick McKinnon back. I like Dylan Johnson as an RB2. Plus, great numbers at Washington. Great numbers. Over 1,000 yards, 200-plus carries, was agile, was really good in terms of just like playing through stuff, which I'll get to in a second. Got an average over 5 and 16 touchdowns on a playoff team. I like that. Now, I talk about how he played through things. He got hurt in the CFP semifinal game against the Texas Longhorns. But guess what? Championship game obviously did not go well for him, but Michigan playing them well. Johnson still was out there. I mean, he wasn't full force, of course, but the fact that he kept continuing to play through it, it looked like dude was putting his heart out there, which I don't know about you. I want somebody who has heart on my team, Dylan Johnson. He's got exactly that. I would love to see him in Kansas City Red. Hopefully, the Chiefs can make it happen. Plus, round 5, it's not that bad to kind of get a running back right there. Luke McCaffrey is my final pick of this mock draft as we have right there, the wide receiver out of Rice. He is the brother of Christian McCaffrey. I will say that. Now, I say this because I think he is underrated in some ways because of that, and maybe not because of that, but he played at Rice, so his competition wasn't exactly the biggest, I guess, or the best, but he performed well. And honestly, when you have a family gene of the McCaffreys, his father playing in the NFL, Christian playing in the NFL, his mother being a track athlete, I mean, there's just so much athletic prowess in that family. Why not take a risk on him? And honestly, it's not that big a risk. You're getting him in the round 5 at a compensatory pick. So, hey, may as well get him there. All right, so here's my full mock draft, and here's the grades. So, got an A- for Adonai. Devontae Walker, Tez got a B+. Leonard Taylor got a B-. Cooper, got a C for BB there, which I don't really agree with. Dylan Johnson, C+, and Luke McCaffrey, a B+. So, kind of curious to see. Obviously, this is what PFF ranked each pick. How would you grade this entire mock draft? A, B, C, D, or F? I'm curious to see. That's Mitchell, Tez, Leonard Taylor, BB, Dylan Johnson, and Luke McCaffrey. I'm curious to see what you'll think. A, B, C, or D. Grade my first Chiefs mock draft of the 2024 offseason. Chiefs Kingdom, we certainly appreciate you hanging out with us for this entire time. We're going to have more draft content as we get closer, and obviously, free agency is now just around the corner, so we'll keep you updated on all things with that. We appreciate you as always. Peace out, Chiefs Kingdom. Grade my mock draft. What are we thinking? BB. I'm an idiot. I knew it was BB too. Dude literally didn't allow the Oklahoma State players to touch all 3 of their quarterbacks they played against us when we were down 40-0. Demon Angels says F. Why is it F? What do y'all hate my mock draft for?
Said it. Let's hear some reasons.
I was going to say, I want to know why y'all hate it here.
He would love for them to bring back McKinnon. Well, funny enough, that's exactly what Jace said.
I just said you dropped Clyde and you grabbed Dylan.
So you're just trolling then.
Trolls. Great movie, by the way, Trolls.
Okay.
Paul Amos says
if you say so.
Paul Amos is helping me out, though. Draft Lad McConkey. We might. I'm not going to sit here. Listen, the first round is going to be a wide receiver, and it's going to be Keon Coleman, Troy Franklin, or Lad McConkey, or A.D. Mitchell. I think that's the options here. So
Lad McConkey in just about every mock draft I've seen has been somewhere between pick 32 in round 1 and pick 64 in round 2. So if you're willing to give up future draft capital if you want him that bad, that's not a bad option. Tez Walker looked pretty good this year.
I think what you could do if, say, AD is gone at 32, trade back a little bit. There's potential for that. You get Lad and you get Tez, and then you potentially get a 6th-round pick back, get a 7th round.
One decision for an F is tough.
I know. That's kind of wild. Like, totally basing off that Jerick McKinnon is not coming back, which, by the way,
That's
I
weird,
said he would come back.
I'm scrolling back up, Bright Wolf. In the comments, they asked, or Demon Angels, you guys both said why you like Adonai Mitchell in round 1. You both typed Y for yes, and yet you're giving us Fs. We've got the receipts. We don't.
Jolly Rancher
it's not hard to scroll up.
Jolly Rancher says A-, so I'll take that at least.
There you go.
Take that. Sonny Fuentes says B. The Bright Wolf says Lad McConkey's underrated. I agree. I'm not going to say he's not. I just think A.D. Mitchell's better. And if you have pick 32, I'm going to take the better one. Cole Kelleher says B+. All right, Sam. I want to make a deal here.
Oh, boy.
I have got to go to the bathroom. And so, I know we have any amount gets you on the football. How about we do a little any amount, $5 amount for a raffle entry? You think that's fair? While I'm gone, like 2 minutes, $5 for a raffle entry. I think that's fair. So cut in half already. So I'm gonna run to the bathroom. When I get back, that deal's gone. So y'all better go.
Do you have bring like a buffalo sauce or something back? Every $5 while he's gone is a raffle entry and a shot of buffalo sauce for Jace.
Oh gosh, I do have that, so I can agree to that. $5 from the buffalo sauce. That's fair.
All right, run. Dale Webb says take a cornerback with the first pick. I was talking about it earlier during our build-up. I wouldn't completely rule it out. If L'Jarius Sneed isn't back, it's not something you can rule out. Boomer Miller, Audric Estime, who had a very strong start to the year. I think kind of Notre Dame as a whole tailed away a little late, but Audric Estime is a good back. I like him. Bright Wolf, they're both on Georgia. So you basically, let's just get every player from Georgia. Who else can we get for Bright Wolf? Let's see what we got here. Give me another player to watch from Georgia. Not like a Michael Williams next year is probably a little too early, but I'm all for it. Jolly Rancher Kid said, Sam, you got the Chiefs three-peat. I think I have to. I think you have no other choice. I was telling a coworker the other day, my mentality is basically that I'm just not going to take the regular season seriously anymore. Because they hosted one playoff game, one on the road against the top 2 teams left in the AFC, and then won the Super Bowl after having an even worse regular season than 2022. Like some of us, we remember 2022. Juju Smith-Schuster was wide receiver 1, and you're wondering, are we feeling great about that going into the playoffs? Didn't matter. This year, the leading wide receiver was a guy they drafted in the 2nd round, who that's awesome. Behind him, you're still looking for answers outside of him and Kelsey. Didn't even matter. So I've decided to put absolutely no stock whatsoever in the regular season. And by the way, we're running out of time because I think Jason's about to get back from the bathroom here. Every $5 super chat is a raffle entry while he's gone, and we're going to have him take a shot of buffalo sauce too. We're going to do the regular super chat menu too for the actual mailbag. Bad radio. I had to take some water. I had coffee breath. Every super chat, you're doing a personalized Chiefs job here for you. $10 super chat, 1 jersey raffle, plus any super chat today, you're going to get your name on the Hall of Fame football. I can't reach it. It's all the way on the other side of the room, so such is life. $20, you're going to get on the Hall of Fame board, and you're going to get 3 entries. Usually it's 2 entries for $20. We're doing a little buy 2, get 1 deal here for you. Every $5 super chat for the next couple minutes until Jace gets back in If he doesn't want to do buffalo sauce, I guess if y'all aren't going to make him do buffalo sauce, then so be it. We have our MVP race. I'll show the standings here in a sec for a custom Chiefs shirt and a custom Chiefs bottle. You can get your name on it, whatever you want on it. And at the end of the month, or potentially next month, still TBD on confirmation on that, the raffle entry for the Mahomes Super Bowl jersey. So the MVP race that I'm showing right now is for the custom Chiefs gear. Jan's in the lead at $200 even. She's in the lead right now to get a custom Chiefs shirt along with a custom Chiefs bottle. We've got Wallace, Dale, Jay Berg all in the mix. Jace, no buffalo sauce for you. Chiefs Kingdom bailed you out. And then the raffle entries. Jan, ironically enough, also in the lead in terms of raffle entries, but that one's a little tighter, and that one's anyone's game. Just because Jan has the majority doesn't mean that she's a lock to win. We've seen that happen time and time again here on the show. So shout out to Jan. She's been a real one here coming in every single week. Shout out to everyone who's been coming back every Tuesday, by the way. And we've got Jace coming on screen here for you soon. But Jace, it's almost mailbag time as he gets hooked back up. No buffalo sauce.
I brought it, man. I'm kind of.
You got lucky.
In some ways, I'm disappointed. Like, obviously, I didn't really want to do this, but at the same time, it made a deal. You know, no deals.
It's the Heath Ledger line from The Dark Knight. I'm a man of my word.
I am. I would have done it. I did get water though. I gave y'all some extra time.
Chug, 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 chug.
I needed that. Okay. Got a lot of questions though, so kind of nice. Right? Okay, good.
Right, Wolf said R.I.P. Ronald Akers and Will Markham.
I know.
Ronald Akers put his body on the line during the Chiefs watch parties during the season. There's no doubt about that.
I still message Will every now and then. But
as far as the Tuesday live shows, Jan's been killing the game.
Oh, she's been legendary.
She's been running the show around here so far.
Unless
someone else wants to run the show.
We're gonna keep doing these, like I'd say monthly or bi-monthly, depending on what they say. So it's just gonna keep getting more and more fun. So if y'all want to get in on this, don't worry. There's gonna be more stuff. So mock draft time or mock draft. We already did mock draft. Mailbag time. That's what we're doing. So yeah, let's get into it here. The mock draft. Oh my gosh, maybe I get mine right. Mailbag time. All right, we're gonna answer some of your questions.
I think you need to do a shot of buffalo sauce just to wake up.
Probably. We'll do that. That's fine. I'll also do this.
This is just wild.
I want a deal to happen. I'll make a deal. The next super chat of any amount is a raffle entry. Could be $1. Don't care. After that though, like it's only one. Y'all didn't do it this time, so I'm gonna do literally. I'll do buffalo shot, but then the next one could be $1 as a raffle entry for the Patrick Mahomes jersey. Only the first one, though. Only the first one. You ready? There you go.
By the way, that buffalo sauce has been... I look at the buffalo sauce at least once a day because it sits behind Jace's...
It does.
It sits behind Jace's monitor, and I was kind of curious if it was going to like have a little funky taste to it or anything like that, but I guess not. Kind of sad.
It's good for another. Your joke. Guess when it expires?
What?
Today.
Are you serious?
2/20/24.
Show the camera. Show the camera.
I don't know if I can see it.
That's incredible.
02.
Oh yeah, maybe. Yeah, I can barely see it. 2/20/24.
That's funny. Jan gets another raffle entry because she sent in a $5 super
Of course she was.
Of course she does. Buffalo shot was for you, Jan. That's wild.
Do another one.
That was not
Jan.
planned.
Do another one for Jan.
All right.
I mean, clearly we're not going to be able to drink much more of that one.
No,
That's incredible.
This
Literally
is the last
today.
That's really wild.
I mean, do we have to finish the bottle?
You can.
Honestly,
honor, I will say, I feel like sometimes, like, how does this expire? Like, what happens to it after today?
I don't know.
It's in an airtight bottle.
You're asking the wrong person. I can't say I have buffalo sauce hanging around my apartment too much.
You see mine every day, though. Cheers.
Yeah.
Nice. That's wild. I still can't believe that.
Still tastes fun?
It tastes a little old.
You had a little bit right here. Right there. Yep.
It's for a snack later during the video.
That's disgusting. Don't say that out loud.
Let's get into the mail back. Oh, man. Shout out to Jan. You're a legend. Mailbag time? Mailbag time. All right, sweet. Let me go get this up. All right. Let's answer your questions. Appreciate y'all, Gene Skeetum. It's the best time of the week. Chiefs Kingdom is the time where we answer your questions and talk about the latest Chiefs news and rumors and what exactly the Chiefs are thinking in a lot of different ways. It's the offseason, so we got free agency, we got draft season, bunch of stuff all right here on the Chiefs Report. I want to give a huge shout out to DJ, who is our first question. He was a part of our Tuesday live shows. We're live at 3 p.m. Central Time, 4 p.m. Eastern Time. Every single Tuesday, make sure you're hitting us up. And DJ, he got a part of our actual raffle entry. We're giving away a Patrick Mahomes Super Bowl jersey on our live shows. He got 6 entries for a $40 super chat. He's a legend. And his question is, what is your opinion on edge Dallas Turner from Alabama? I think he's great. I think he is definitely the best edge rusher in the draft. There's some concerns I have with him with size. He just doesn't really fit the mold of an NFL-type edge rusher in some aspects. But at the same time, I still think he's the best one. I think he's going to mold into probably one of the best edge rushers in the NFL, probably in 2, 3, 4 years. I don't think the Chiefs need him, and he's going to be taken by the time the Chiefs get there anyway. So if you want to relate that back to the Chiefs content-wise, he's great. I think that he would be awesome for the Chiefs to have, but ultimately you have Charles Omenihu, George Karlaftis, and Felix Anudike-Uzomah. You're pretty good on your edge rushers right there, along with, if you want to add in the linebackers of Nick Bolton and Drew Tranquill if you re-sign him back. So I think you're pretty good in that aspect. Jen Rockefeller comes in with a question saying, Omenihu is injured and may not be quite ready to start next season, which would leave Karlaftis as a starter. How does Felix Anudike-Uzomah fit in, or does he? I like the question, Jan, because you are exactly right. Obviously, Omenihu's injury, he's not going to be able to play, probably I would almost say a similar situation to this year. He had the 6-game suspension to start off this year, didn't play those games. I think it may be a similar type way if he misses the first 6 games. Obviously, Karlaftis is the starter, and then it just depends on what the Chiefs do behind that. So Mike Dana was the starter at the edge before Omenihu was back, and he honestly was the starter over Omenihu for the majority of the back half of the year, too. They more or less split time, but Dana was the starter. Obviously, if they don't re-sign Dana, then in that case, then Omenihu would become the starter. But if you don't re-sign Dana, and Omenihu's hurt still, that makes FAU a starter. I'll just be quite honest with you. And I'm excited to see what it is because I like his mold. I think he fits the type of edge rusher that you can really combo well with George Karlaftis. Karlaftis is a bigger guy, FAU more of a speed type guy. He'll be a starter if everything works out how I see it. So I have to wait and see, but I'm kind of excited to see it. Cole Kelleher comes in with our next question saying, what do you think about the possibility of the Chiefs drafting wide receiver Troy Franklin out of Oregon? If was watching NFL Network and one mock had us taking him. I like it. I honestly had a mock draft, guess a couple weeks ago that I was looking at, and I had the same thing. Troy Franklin being taken by the Chiefs. I saw one where the Chiefs traded to 25 to take him. So, I don't know. I like Troy Franklin a lot. I think he is a really good prospect. He's kind of a taller version of Rashee Rice, if that makes sense. Like, really good agility. He's not exactly the greatest at winning the 50-50 ball, but that's not what you're looking for him. You're looking more for the speed, the agility. The one thing he separates, honestly, he may be the best at in this entire draft, his immediate first move. He gets off the line of scrimmage and immediately has the cornerback in skates, like right away, I would say 75% of the time, which is a really good skill to have. I'm hoping that they get him. He has that same ability in the NFL. Just one baby saying, is there any wide receivers you are excited to see at the Combine that the Chiefs could draft? Yeah, there's honestly a lot of wide receivers, and I think the reason is because, the wide receiver room has been a little bit of a tough sledding area, and you see there, free agency is going to hit them in a little bit with Mecole Hardman and Richie James potentially leaving if they don't re-sign, and then Kadarius Toney and MVS may be cut. Honestly, there's a couple of names I want to throw out there, Devontae Walker and Adonai Mitchell. First 2 guys who are potential options. As you just mentioned, Troy Franklin, I want to see how he performs in the NFL Combine. I think overall that could really kind of increase or decrease his position. And then 2 guys who I think maybe one of them a long shot for the Chiefs to get because he's been so high on the big board. Brian Thomas Jr. from LSU played really, really well with LSU as the number 2 wide receiver to Malik Neighbors. I think he has the potential to drop, and if so, the Chiefs could get him. And then one name who the Chiefs may be sleeping on him a little bit, but Brendan Rice. How about a little Rice and Rice combo? Rashee Rice, Brendan Rice? I think it'd be kind of cool. Out of USC and the son of Jerry Rice. So, imagine if you drafted Brendan Rice and Luke McCaffrey. You're just doing the generational talent here. Then a wide receiver prospect you want to see the Chiefs draft this year. Is it Tez Walker, A.D. Mitchell? Is it Troy Franklin? Is it Brendan Rice? I mean, let me know in the comment section down below. I'm curious to see your thoughts. Tony Fuentes says, is there a way that the Chiefs can once again franchise tag Chris Jones? Good 3-year deal. It may cost some cap, but hopefully KC can find a way. Won't hurt that much in cap issue. In short, no. I mean, he's very unlikely to be franchise tagged. Technically, that opened yesterday on Tuesday, so I think that it's not going to happen. I will say that Jarius Sneed, though, could be a potential option. You tag Sneed, you sign Chris Jones. He just doesn't fit that option. As you see here, the franchise tag will be $32 million instead of the regular $19.7. He's unlikely to be tagged. I think it's, honestly, replace unlikely with not going to be tagged. I think that's the better word. So it's just not going to happen, to be quite frank with you. Hoover Miller, next question says, I hope Kadarius Toney leaves the Chiefs. He needs to play with the Jets. Yeah, I wish we could have traded Kadarius Toney to the Jets for McCole Hardman and kept whatever the heck, the pick swap, whatever the heck it was. But he's hurt the team more than helped them, to be honest. I still have the inkling that, he's still young. Has time to perform, but he's hurt the team too much at this point, and his off-the-field issues are also a problem. Demon Angel says, #Chiefs. Jace, who is your favorite Chiefs player on the team from the offense and defense? I'm curious to know. Offense is definitely Rashee Rice. He's kind of come to my heart, and just kind of, obviously this would be my first year with Chat Sports, getting to watch him grow, and in some ways kind of, same way. His first year with the Chiefs, my first year with the Chiefs. It was kind of nice to get that. Close second, though, is Pop. I love watching Isaiah Pacheco do everything and anything. He is so much fun to watch. Defense, it may be Drew Tranquil. I know he's technically a free agent, but his speech at the parade talking about the opponents and then proceeding to say the quote that he said will go down in infamy. I forget the exact thing. It was like, T Swift and the boys went and got Big Red, T Swift and the boys went and got him. That was the quote. Big Red, T Swift and the boys came and got him. I love you, Drew Tranquil. I love you. Speaking of which, we're the only team who can say this in the last 20 years, back-to-back in the NFL. Get in the comments, spam B2B, because, listen, guess what? You know the last team that could do that? That'd be the 03-04 New England Patriots. Yeah, I want to put that in the comments, back-to-back for the first time in 20 years in the NFL. Type B2B. I want to see all those in the comment section of today's video. I also want to make sure you're down there getting your Prize Picks $100 deposit match by the prizepicks.com/CLNS link using code CLNS. Now, Prize Picks is the largest daily fantasy sports platform in North America, and they are the easiest and most exciting way to play DFS. It's just you against the numbers. Instead of battling thousands of other players, including pros and sharks, you pick more than or less than on 2 to 6 player stat projections, and it's honestly super easy to play. You choose flex or power play after that, and I'm telling you, there's a lot of amazing stuff on there. You got NBA, NHL, you got PGA, NASCAR yesterday with the Daytona 500. You got UFC on there. I'm a big baseball guy. I'm not going to front here. So I got some season-long totals. We are 38 days away from opening day. Spring training happens in a couple days, by the way. Shohei Ohtani, I'm going the more on his home runs. He got paid $1 billion, it seems like. So, yeah, I'm going to go with more there on 40 home runs. Juan Soto, more than 35.5 on his home runs. He plays in a Little League park at Yankee Stadium. He's going to hit that. Bobby Witt Jr., the big contract with the Royals. I'm going with more on his hits. 170 seems like a good amount, so I think he'll get there. And then Adolis Garcia, yeah, he's going to pimp 20, and then he'll hit 20 others. So I'm going with the over rather than more on Adolis Garcia. Testing my skills on Prize Picks this past NFL season was the most exciting way that I've had to play daily fantasy sports. And if you have the skills, you can turn $10 into $250 with just a few taps. Also, Prize Picks has weekly promotions as well. You go check out like Taco Tuesday. They discount select player projections up to 25%. Once again, quick withdrawals, easy gameplay, and an enormous selection of players and stat types. That's what makes Prize Picks the #1 daily fantasy sports app. Go to prizepicks.com/CLNS and use the code CLNS for a first deposit match of up to $100. That link will be in the comments and the description of this video. All right. Shad Jameson says, do you see Wanya Morris being the starting left tackle this season? Yes, I think he does. I don't think they're going to re-sign Donovan Smith. The only thing I do see is maybe taking a guard or a tackle a little higher and potentially making them the starting tackle. I know that they like Wanya Morris, though, and that's kind of why I see the Chiefs more or less going with a guard later in the draft, maybe a tackle later in the draft, just for the simple fact that if you like Wanya Morris and you got to see him for only a couple games this year, I feel like you got to give him a free shot. The guy out of Oklahoma, too, so, I mean, he's faced some pretty good prospects in the Big 12, facing against some defensive linemen, so I think Wanya has some good ties, and hopefully he gets a shot with the Chiefs next year. I think he'll be the starter. Super Sam saying, has your confidence wavered at all in signing Jones or Snead in the past couple of weeks? Jones, I don't know if my confidence was ever too high, but I don't think it's ever gone too low. Snead, in some ways, yes. Now, the reason behind this is he went on Up and Adams last week after the Super Bowl and was talking about his contract situation with the Chiefs. And he said that he would like to be back in KC, but he also wants to get paid, and that, you know, it's a business and it's going to go how it's going to go. He can't change it. Now, Kay Adams did give him a second to basically say, okay, if you had a message to Brett Veach, what would you say? And he sat there and said, pay me, please pay me. So he wants to play with the Chiefs, but I think he's also making sure that he gets his dividends, which he deserves. I mean, he's been, I think, the best cornerback in the NFL last year. So I hope he gets paid. I hope it's with the Chiefs, but I'm a little less confident on them re-signing him in the next year. So we'll have to see. DJ saying, trade for Cooper Kupp. I like it. I think it could work. You'd probably trade draft picks, though. I think I'd rather take a younger guy just because if you kind of go a lot of things here, I want more of a younger type thing. The Bright Wolf saying, draft Lad McConkey. Yeah, I knew this one was coming from Bright Wolf. Good prospect. I think he's a little bit underrated, but he's kind of in the area of no man's land for the Chiefs. 32 to 64 is their picks. He's right in the middle of that, so you either give up draft capital, go up, or go back. So I don't really know how that would work, but I do think he's definitely good. Tony Fuentes comes in with saying, Jason, Sam, what's your biggest mock draft targets? I'll go mine first. I'm going to let Sam chime in on this because he's here with us today, so may as well let him. But honestly, my biggest one is probably A.D. Mitchell and Troy Franklin. Those are my top two. Sam, do you have any guy that you're looking for?
I think wide receiver, and I think if you're looking at potentially losing L'Jarius Sneed, there's a deep class of cornerbacks this year that you can target. Deep class of offensive linemen, too, if you think, Lucas Niang or Jawan Taylor is not that answer after all at right tackle.
That's true. I think the definite 4 draft topics are wide receiver, interior defensive lineman, cornerback, and to some extent a lineman, offensive lineman. So, Carl Bailey, next question says, will the draft be the deciding factor in keeping Stone Cold in 95? No, they're not really affected. I think that obviously it's after the free agency season in some ways. So I think that by that point we'll probably have our answer on if the Chiefs have Chris Jones or not. But we'll have to see. I think obviously good draft will help, but that doesn't matter because it's probably gonna happen before then. Jolly Rancher Kid, what's up, man? Says Jace, who is your top wide receiver for the Chiefs to get this offseason? Mike Evans is probably one of the top ones. I will say, in terms of ranking, I've seen them ranked as Evans, Pittman, T. Higgins, Marquise Brown, and Calvin Ridley. I think mine is Mike Evans, T. Higgins, Marquise Brown, Michael Pittman Jr., Calvin Ridley. I think Calvin Ridley, though, for the price is probably the best option. I'm also high on Curtis Samuel from the Washington Commanders. I think he's underrated. Kind of a gadget-style player, works well with the Chiefs' offensive style. And he's not that expensive, be around $10 million, so I think that's one to watch out for. He's a free agent as well. Jolly Ranch Kid, we appreciate you, and we appreciate everybody who got into this show. I know that Tuesday live shows, not all of you are in it. Well, if you get to the end of this video, come join us. Get a question in there Tuesdays at 3 p.m. Central Time. If you're free, we're live. I mean, heck, we're recording this around 4, so we're live for over an hour after that. So, if you got some time after, just come out, hang out with us. We're happy to sit here, talk Chiefs. Plus, we got some amazing deals, giving away a Patrick Mahomes jersey this month. So make sure you're hitting us up there and hit that subscribe button as always. Chiefs Kingdom. Peace out. Back to back. B2B. Did I lose it? There it is. B2B. B2B. Any Tyler Lockett?
B2B, I think also can stand for block the bots.
Block the bots.
B2B.
That's funny. B2B. That's funny. Any Tyler Lockett Jr. rumors? Is it Tyler Lockett Jr.? Or are you talking about Tyler Lockett? Paul Diamo says B2B. Jolly Rancher says B2B. Tony Fuentes says B2B. Let's go. Let's go. Demon Angels in there typing back to back. Only team who can do that.
For what it's worth, Tyler Lockett is not a junior. His father's name is Kevin.
There you go.
Fun fact for you.
He could be cut.
Wouldn't be surprising. He lost a step this year.
Yeah, that's fair. DJ says trade up for Marvin Harrison Jr. Possibly. I think that's too much of a. You're gonna have to trade away the farm. Like you're trading away your first round pick next year. You're trading away your first round pick this year. Trading away second round picks, and I still don't even know if that'd be enough. So, I'd like it, but
unless you're adding on like a starter or something.
Yeah, I mean, in some ways you could do a little sign and trade with somebody, Jerry Sneed, but I don't know if you want to do that. Anyway,
I still don't even think that'd be enough to get inside the range that you need to get to draft Marvin Harrison Jr. You need to get Arizona's at 4. He's not making it past 4.
Yeah, he honestly may not make it past 3, because like, if the Patriots are not dead set on Drake May, they could take Marvin Harrison too. So anyway, that's the point, but it'd be a lot. Keep or trade Sky Moore. I think you keep him. I mean, I don't think he has much trade value. You could cut him, I guess. He'd save you maybe a little bit, but not really enough to really warrant anything. Plus, he's still young. I mean, just make him wide receiver 5. Call it good. All right, well, legendary Tuesday live show. One of the best we've had on Chiefs Sports.
It's up there.
Pretty good. Pretty good.
Shout out to Tim, Jan, Dale, Jeff, and Jan again.
Jan, let's go. Any final thoughts, Sam, while we have you on the mic?
No, my coffee. My final thought is my coffee is starting to wear out. I can feel it, and I can feel the juices start to run out. So I'm gonna finish up my work so that I don't pass out on my desk. Those are my final thoughts. That's my approach here for the next couple hours.
I agree. I'm gonna head out as soon as I can. All right, we appreciate you hanging out with us here for an hour and a half or so. Again, we're live every Tuesday, so if you're joining us here for the first time, be here every single week. It's a fun atmosphere. We do this a lot. Plus, we have our raffle entry potentially ending next week. So if you're one of the guys who put in some of those raffles, haven't exactly talked to my bosses yet to see if we're gonna do into March or if we're gonna do just this month. So let me know. But yeah, we appreciate y'all. And as always, Chiefs Kingdom, peace out.